Quiet. You guys tell what I'm going to be talking about today? Got a little theme going already. Here's my notes for today. Yeah, that's what we're doing today. A little too raff. All right, I think that's enough of that. We get the idea. Guys, y'all, folks, yins, fam, cousin, gather around. I think this is the last update I'm going to be able to say it's quiet, ... too quiet, maybe for the year. Today is Tuesday, January 16th, 2024. Things are unnervingly calm today on every front. I mean, sure, the volcanoes are still erupting in South America and in the Southern Pacific Islands. There's still active eruptions all over, except for in Iceland, where we've seen a marked decline in seismic activity. Yet, we did not see the ground deflate nearly enough for me to feel like we are done with the story here. Let's take a look. There are some stations in Grindavik. Remember, this is the GPS data that we're looking at. The blue being north-south data, green being east-west data, and red being the vertical up and down motion. As you can see, there are some stations that did deflate as a result of yesterday and the day before's, or like 2 days ago's volcanic eruption, the fissure eruption in Iceland. And some of them did not deflate at all, continued to inflate, actually. Some have even continued to inflate at a greater rate than they were before. Let's take a look. Oh, you can see all my pop-ups. I hope I don't see anything bad. Let's take a look. This one right here, kind of scary. Sudvik station, that is right next to Grindavik Harbor. That has only inflated since the eruption started. The eruption being over does not make me feel more calm, especially when we see data like this. These data are not saying anything about it's over. Let's just say I don't think that we can unclench our buttholes. I don't think we can I don't think we are. I think we're still waiting to exhale here. There's more fissures cracking open in Grindavik as we speak. No fissure eruptions right now, but the earth is still spreading and widening that gap, the gap that made the harbor in the first place. And there's about to be a giant snowstorm in Iceland. So they are currently under both earthquake and volcano watch, as well as a winter storm watch up there. Let's get out of this. Yeah, as you can see, no current signs of eruption north of Grindavik. Inflation by the Svartsengi area. Y'all remember that's where the power plant is. And right next to the power plant is the Blue Lagoon. So there is magma inflation under the earth underneath the power plant. Now, I don't know. What are we saying? All about the same depth. Looking around the same magnitude. Let's take a look at our winds near Grindavik right now. Actually, I want to take a look at the sulfur dioxide off-gassing here. Let's take a look at what kind of sulfuric gas is pouring off. Oh, and would you look at that? There are sulfur dioxide readings in the range of still an active eruption. Now, this is a little bit skewed by the fact that Reykjavik is right there, and most of the time you see sulfur dioxide as a result of industrial pollution or burning of natural gases or natural fuels, but that also combustion of natural products that also goes along with volcanic activity. That smelly smell that smells smelly, as it were. But let's go back to looking at the there's going to be a winter storm up here in Iceland. I know that we're very Iceland focused, but over here in North America, in the US, it is freaking cold. It is freaking cold here across the entire United States, basically. Even into Florida, they're barely not freezing. But fortunately, there's not as much winter storm activity going on. Let's go ahead and take a look at our current radar. Look at the derived winds, because that's my favorite one. Yeah. So you can see this passing through the southeast. At least it's a little bit quieter where they had all that snow yesterday. As you can see, I think that you can see that this is the snowfall. You can see the icing and snowfall because this is real color on the map. You can see the surface of the snow all across the blanketing the southeast, and really stopping once you get into North Carolina and Georgia, South Carolina, and the flatlands of Virginia. But we are seeing that massive pile up of snow in the Mississippi River Valley region. We're also seeing more of that moisture from the Pacific and Gulf of Mexico going straight off the coast. And I bet that if GOES wasn't stationed above the United States, we'd be able to zoom out and see that this moisture is flowing right across, right below the United States into the polar jet area. And that is the moisture that is partially what's responsible for the snowstorms in Iceland right now. Let's take a look at how freaking cold this is by looking at the sandwich RGB. And you should be able to see anywhere where the clouds aren't moving is frozen. This is the cold. Just like we had that tundra frozen polar cold up here, this is just rock solid ice. Now I will say down here in the North Carolina part of the Southern Appalachians, we did see some flurries today. We saw a few flakes. My car is currently, I believe the engine is flooded, and I tried to work on it today, but I didn't feel comfortable taking it apart with the flurries blowing around because I didn't want to get water in it. That would just be terrible. So, but like when working on my car, it was frozen solid. Overnight, things froze solid. We've got a 50-gallon rain barrel outside that is full to the top, and there is a solid inch thick of ice on top. The ground has finally frozen here. It is now permafrost type ground. The groundwater is frozen. So we are down in those really cold temperatures now. Let's go now to look at, let's do some analysis temperatures. Let's go to pivotal weather. Look at the analysis temperatures. I don't want to look at theta E. Why is that the one that's suggested? I want to look at analysis of temperatures. Yeah, you see, we're getting those up into the teens, 20s and teens here in the mountains. 20s and teens, freezing temperatures reaching into the panhandle of Florida. Almost entire area of Texas is in the 20s or below freezing. Much of the United States below freezing. Wisconsin is basically Canada at this point. I know that we all consider Wisconsin and Minnesota to be pretty much Canada anyway, but they are really acting their Canadianness out right now. Let's take a look at the wind chill, though. This is going to freezing cold. And as you see, that looks like a little blossom of watercolor. That shows us that's the really good resolution data flowing in. So many people want to talk to me. Shh. Okay. Let's look at cloud cover. Let's look at 24-hour temperature change, because that is going to show how drastically these temperatures fell in the southeastern United States. Watch this march forward in time. We're finally making it over the mountain barrier. It's really the fact that the cold temperatures dip down and we're able to come out around this mountainous barrier that has gotten us so freaking cold. Cooling off in like a drop of 30 degrees in 24 hours is nuts. That's terrible for your infrastructure, terrible for your car, terrible for your electronics, terrible for anything plastic or anything that's wet or potentially in contact with water. That is some very damaging rapid temperature fall. So just because there's not an active snowstorm doesn't mean these aren't dangerous conditions. These are very dangerous conditions for infrastructure. For instance, if people lose power, there's going to be all kinds of pipes bursting. If a area of the water infrastructure, just the pipes, not even pipes in your house, but pipes in the ground, those could freeze, burst anytime now. So we are looking at some significant cold temperatures, significantly cold temperatures. But at the very least, it's very dry. All I can say is, let's take a look at analysis. Yeah, so basically, it's freaking cold. That's what this is saying. Let's take a look at, let's stop thinking about how freaking cold it is, and I'm trying not to cuss on stream just in case my dreams come true and this channel takes off and I can get monetized. You shouldn't be cussing on stream. So let's take a look at, oh, I have my I don't want to, let's just go start over. Time range, latest available to, sorry, I haven't updated my bookmarks yet. I remember when I'm on the stream that I need to update my bookmarks, and then I completely forget. All values since yesterday, all depths, and go. All right. So another one in southern Greece. We've still got a lot of activity here in the Mediterranean. Oh, another big shallow one off the coast of Japan. That's a magnitude 5. We had some, oh, and let's see. Okay, so this is just so freaking exciting. I don't know where to begin. Got 5 here in the Philippines, northern Molucca Sea. I guess not actually in the Philippines. Indonesia has a 4.5. These are all, that one was really shallow. This one's a little deeper down. Here we've got a very deep 5. That was today. We've got a medium deep 5 today. So which one happened first? Let's see. Yeah, first the shallower one happened, and then the deeper one happened, which to me, in my opinion, means that the energy is going into the plate there. These shallower ones are going to keep transmitting energy through this chain, though. I believe this one was at 1800 hours. This one was slightly afterwards. Let's look at this one at 1800 hours as well. Let's see if I can get them to bounce. We're not showing very many. We're showing the ones up in Alaska for that. Kuril Islands. And I think this again is right off the Noto Peninsula, off the coast of the main island in Japan. Then we go over to Alaska. This had been swarming near this bend, and now we've got more happening up here. Just today, we've got some shallow 2, 3, 4s right in a row. Well, I guess it went 4, then 3, then 2. So I guess that would indicate that it is dissipating. But all right next to each other, right in the same spot. So that's interesting. I wonder what's going on up there. As we move into Hawaii, also getting some activity going. As we move into the United States, we see what Dutch Sense forecasted, which was that this energy moving through the plate would get up into the northeastern area of the United States. This is also where they've got a lot of lake effect snow going on. Can I even click on this? Yeah. Oh, that's a depth of only 5 kilometers. So I wonder if the snow shook from that. That would be really interesting to experience an an ice quake, a earthquake during an ice and snowstorm. That would be really interesting. But this is brittle, frozen, hard as rock. Basically, everything is permafrost up here, which to me screams brittle. Is this at 10 kilometers? No, these are all in 30. This one is a 10 kilometer. More over here in called the Mona Passage, I guess, between DR and Puerto Rico. Nothing on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, according to this map, according to this source. But as we saw in Iceland, there are some. I'd like to see here in Albania, let's back up, or the Greece Mediterranean region. Let's back up for a week. Let's see what the last quakes for a week have been here in the Mediterranean. Yeah. Take a look at that. Let's look at one of these. So that was the most recent one. The most recent before that was this one, then this one, then this one. Then we had this one and this one. Man, very interesting. Also, a lot of activity here in Afghanistan, Tajikistan, Kurdistan region. We did have one that was last week in Nepal and one last week in northern central Iran. I guess it was only last week that it was the 8th. Good goodness. My goodness. Quite a lot of activity here in the I guess Western Pacific. A lot of activity still in let's zoom in and see if we can watch these quakes happen. Let's see if it'll animate them for me. Sometimes my animate quakes hasn't been working very well. Yeah, all off that Noto Peninsula. And then we get a bunch coming in. We're at the 13th. We go to the 14th, 15th, and today, still more quakes popping up all over the place. I really don't feel like we've settled down here. I think that there is going to be another significant earthquake in this region. Yeah, guys, I don't know what to tell you other than be prepared. Don't be scared. Be prepared. Where's all the quakes down here in South America? I know we got a lot. Oh, this is only in the past 2 days, 15 and 16. Oh my goodness. Oh, we had one down here. Oh, I guess this is an old one. Yeah, that's from yesterday. That's from the 15th. This is from the 12th. 12th. That was last week in the 9th. Lots of mid-range, mid-depth earthquakes here where we've got a lot of volcanic activity. Remember that over here in the Western Pacific, we've also got volcanic activity in Java and Sumatra. We've also got a lot of volcanic activity all over the place. So let's keep moving on to, I think we've already covered weather. Oh, I didn't cover that there is a typhoon in northern Australia right now. Let's zoom all the way out though and go to our solar weather. Let's take a look at today's CMEs. I think that we've had some pretty quiet solar weather today. Yeah. Again, we're averaging about 5 or 6 per day, which is down from last week's big total. Oh, yesterday after I live, we had another partial halo CME. So that's a type 2. Let's take a look at that GIF. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. See it again. You can almost see its own envelope erupting. You see it erupt and the envelope it erupts in erupting. Let's see if there are any longer ones. No. Actually, yesterday picked up a little bit in intensity. Let's see. Not too much to write home about there. Take a look at real-time solar activity. And guys, obviously, I'm using other people's dashboards to formulate this forecast, this recap. So solar proton flux has gone back to normal amounts. I mean, it didn't even really spike that much the other day. It was just a bit. But yeah, even the X-ray flux is pretty low for solar maximum. Let's take a look at what's happened today. Yeah, I mean, we even dipped out of C class range. We are dipped down into B class. So this is extremely quiet. That doesn't make me feel better though. And you know why? You want to know why? Let's take a look at let's go back to my earthquake data. and take a look at. No, I wanted to go to the, actually, I don't want to go to earthquakes. I wanted to go to volcanic activity because I wanted to see earthquakes in the Icelandic region. How do I look at that? Let's go to earthquakes and latest quakes. 3.1 in New Zealand, Indonesia. Let's see. Oh, it's not going to show me what I want. Let's go to volcanoes. I think I'm going to need to click on the volcano at, let's do volcanoes today. I have a currently active volcanoes, and then I'm going to have to click on the location to pull up its other. There are supposed to be volcano cameras that I can see, but I don't know if it's my computer or the website, but it doesn't want to load a lot of them for me. But it will let me load this volcanic data. Again, so what I wanted to point out is that right before this outburst, or this outbreak, this outburst from the Earth is throwing a tantrum. Right before we had the January 14th eruption, there was a bit of a lull, a bit of a quiet area. And then today we are experiencing a bit of a tapering off, a bit of a quiet area. I expect, and remember the other day, I feel like it was maybe last week, maybe on the 8th, I said that I expected a eruption around the time of the quarter moon, of the first quarter moon. And that would be tomorrow, going exact tomorrow as a quarter moon, which means that the moon is squaring the sun. So let's go ahead and look at, the, let's go ahead and look at the astrology, current astrology, because I think that the triggers are in the stars. Let's see, we had on the day of our Icelandic eruption, the moon was passing over its conjunction with Saturn. Then it quieted down. Now we are moving into, it's applying to being at a, within the next day, within 24 hours, the sun will be squaring the moon, which means that it's the first quarter moon, which actually is a significant trigger point for, like, that means that the geometry of it's the maximum tension between the pull of the moon being the same as the sun or the opposite of the sun. And the maximum tension between those two means that there's the least amount in common with the sun's gravity and the moon's gravity. I think that means that it's as opposed to the full moon, you'd think that's pulling apart. But I feel like the square aspect, the first quarter and third quarter moon aspect really are what is the most tension for the Earth. I feel like that is ripping the Earth apart. So I will be really interested to see as the moon moves into a perfect square with the sun, and then also moves into a conjunction with Jupiter, which we've established is a significantly electrified planet. Jupiter, according to my recent research, puts off 14 times more electrons than the moon does. Jupiter has its own magnetic field. Jupiter plays a large role in terrestrial weather. And it is, as we see, the Mercury in Capricorn keeps moving into a perfect trine with Jupiter. I don't think that we've seen the end of the eruptions in Iceland, basically. I think that before it's all said and done, we're going to have another eruption, and probably very soon. I'd be keeping, I mean, we even saw a different fissure cracking open. Like, there are still more cracks growing in the town. We are nowhere near the end of this story. I also don't think that we're near the end of the winter weather story for the United States. I think that we're probably looking at more wintry weather as we move into cold, icy air sign of Aquarius. I feel like Aquarius is indicating the frigid depths of winter, and we are about to move into full swing of that season. So, this has been a pretty short update, but I just want to reiterate that there is so little going on that it's newsworthy. I know that sounds like I'm just trying to create a story, but I also will, yeah, I might be going live or filming other videos today. I'm not sure, but it's very possible that I'll be creating a channel trailer today. So if you see me with my crazy hair again, you saw it here first. Stop sharing this. So it won't slow down my computer. Let's see what the cards have to tell us about this incredibly, eerily quiet day. I went outside today. I said I was working on my car. I didn't hear many animals, birds, insects at all, which also tells me it's a good time to hunker down, stay at home, hunker down. A good hunkering down would do us all a lot of good. Hunkering downing. All right. All right. All right. I'll take this. This, to me, shows hunkering down and keeping track of your warmth. I see this day as a positive new beginning. It's never too late to have a new beginning. Today and tomorrow can be very different from yesterday if you can let go, or if you can let yesterday go and focus on today. Today and tomorrow are about your now vibration, and you have complete control over that. Look for things to feel good about and watch how everything in your life will unfold to reflect that good feeling vibration. All right. Look for everything to reflect that good feeling vibration. Look for your warmth. Look for the warmth inside. The warmth inside comes from your attention and intention to feel good, towards feeling good. So I feel like I want to pull another card. One's pretty similar. Let's go for will I always use these cards? I don't know, but I will probably be pulling a card every time. So it'll be interesting to see what it is. Okay. There is an abundance of everything. Shortage is only a perception. There is an abundance of everything. Shortage is only a perception. You keep thinking there is a shortage of abundance, but shortage is only a perception. There is a never-ending stream of abundance. There is no shortage whatsoever. Hard to remember this when we live in the material world. However, It's our job as spiritual beings in the material world to call in abundance, because we have access to spiritual abundance. We will never run out of hope and spiritual abundance if we remember to focus on these things. All right. All right, y'all. I think that's all I've got for you today. Please check out my other videos on this channel. I'm going to link to one that I have that's a video of me doing stand-up comedy talking about weather. I kind of just do stand-up comedy so that I can talk to more people about the weather than just y'all. But y'all will be more, there will be more people here than at my stand-up comedy shows one day. But today is not that day yet, so I have to film my stand-up comedy here to get y'all. Did you know that your body is a weather station? I'll tell you more about it in that video. All right. Thank you, guys.